Hey guys, welcome to the episode of Let's Talk Guild Wars number 2. This week we'll be talking about all the things I experienced over the Bay weekend, including all the Scrapper, the Druid, and my experience with raids, which was 0, and what my opinions will be about PvP. I have actually playing PvP this weekend has been kind of interesting. Playing with all the specializations, I had a very interesting experience, and just it dawned on me this thought, and so I'd like to share that with you guys. Also, some other news at the end of the video. I'll be talking about some extra things, and yeah, so let's get on with it. So the first thing I want to talk about, obviously, is the 2 specializations we got to try out this week, along with all the other ones. The 2 new ones, the Scrapper and the Druid. The first one, the Scrapper, I have to say was super fun. I actually had a lot of fun playing it. Unfortunately, I don't have footage of it because I was having so much fun. I completely forgot to record myself playing it at all in PvE or PvP. So there won't be a footage of that, but I will say that I did have a lot of fun. There were a few weird things, like with the hammer. The 3 is kind of wonky sometimes. It makes you go off in random directions and things, but otherwise I think that the experience overall was really awesome. My friend Kira, who is really into NG right now, he was playing and he had a whole lot of fun just coming up with different combos and things like that. The Scrapper has a lot of interesting, especially with the hammer, it has a lot of interesting combo feels and things you can play around with, and stun combos with orbital strikes and things like that. You should, I can't wait to get my hands more on it when hot launches and stuff. The unfortunate thing is I think a lot of people didn't like it overall, mostly because they were trying to do these very bursty marauder builds with it. And I actually have to say, and this is something I talked with a few friends of mine, I think that really the way to play this new specialization is kind of going a bit on the tankier side, because again, you are going into melee range, and that does mean you aren't sitting around in the back with your rifle and your grenades and things like that. You're going to be hitting the stuff with your hammer and stuff. So I think the whole mentality that we're gonna make this big huge burst NG with hammer because it's this, yeah, you can do that and you can try to be successful if you practice it enough. But I think if you wanted to get a better experience from it and get a better idea of what Scrapper's about, I think going the soldier or celestial route would probably be the best way. That's what I found out. That's how I and my friend Kara found out. We kind of just played it, mostly him. He played around with it a lot, and he discovered, this going marauder is kind of fun, but soldier is really the way to go. Unfortunately, the one thing that Scrapper did not have down was the gyros. Unfortunately, the gyros kind of just died instantly when you summoned them. They have really cool functionalities, but the only problem is that they have such low health pools. You summon one and it's instantly dead. I would like to see maybe the health be increased, or maybe the toughness, one of the two or both, be increased on the gyros, just so that maybe when you summon them, they aren't just instantly gone. It's like they were never there. You summon it and all you see is a cooldown and no gyro, and you're just going, oh man, I was gonna have fun. Although I do have to say that the healing gyro was actually the one I had most fun with, because you can get the tool belt school that gives you the moving water field, the water field that's attached to you, and you can do the hammer 3, the little hammer, or hammer rocket jump thing, and you do it 3 times. You get a healing leap 3 times. That's actually really fun. I thought that was really cool functionality. And the function gyros, it has the same problem where it just kind of dies instantly from cleave and stuff. So I would like to say, I think the best, I'm not really sure what the best answer is to solving those problems, but I think maybe one of them is increasing the health on the gyros so they just don't die instantly. As far as the Druid goes, I actually didn't play the Druid as much. I played a little bit of Druid in PvP and a little bit of it in PvE, and I found that it wasn't as much healing as I thought it would be. Actually, a lot of people were the big conspiracy behind it was that, oh, now we're going to healing classes and this and that. I'm thinking, and I tried it out, and 2 things occurred to me. One was the healing skills on the staff are not really strong. They're a lot stronger than most. They have the high base heals, but even going healing power wasn't a whole bunch. I think it has to do with the scaling of healing power mainly, but I wasn't healing for much. I wasn't super surviving. I know that there was this glyph build going around because there's a trait that heals you when you use glyphs. Plants a seed down and explodes and heals you. But unfortunately, the glyphs aren't very useful, so that build kind of doesn't really do much besides just make you live a little bit longer. As far as celestial form goes, celestial form is awesome. I think it's a really cool idea. I think I do think maybe the graphics on it could be, you know, a little pumped up a bit, you know, on the next level with like more planets floating around you and stuff like that. But the one thing I found from celestial form is that it doesn't last very long. It's not like Necro Death Shroud, where it just has this pool of life. It's not a second life pool. It's used, I think it's used up by your skills mainly, because I found that whenever I used my 5 skill, the one that pulses, my celestial, my celestial energy would just like be gone instantly. I'm thinking, man, that's not really a whole lot that I have to work with, and it takes a long time to get that celestial energy back. I think what they could do to balance it out maybe is to make celestial energy easier to get. Although, to be honest, the way that I was getting it was healing myself and damaging people. So damaging, you only get 1/4 of the celestial energy that you would get from regular healing. So maybe that was my problem. Maybe I wasn't healing enough. Although I don't know where you would find many instances where you heal people, because everyone has their own heal and everyone seems to stay alive in open world. So I think maybe it has more of a place in dungeons and raids. On the other hand, it was really cool. I think that it has a good, we'll find a place somewhere. I don't think it's going to be the amazing healer class that we would, or specialization that we thought it would be. It's not going to be like the boss of healing. I think what they said, Rena had said in a post on forums that said, you know, Ventari form on Revenant is supposed to be sustained healing, while Druid healing is supposed to be like this burst healing. I don't think it's something that we can rely on, to be honest. I don't think that right now in the form it's not reliable healing. But it does have, you know, it does have good supportive abilities, and especially like the 5 on the staff is really cool. I found that to be useful in certain places. But yeah, the Druid was fun. I think that it could use a bit of twinking, and it's not as controversial as I thought it would be. And actually, on the subject of Revenant, a little bit of extra thing I wanted to talk about. I think that there's a lot of talk going around amongst my friends and some guildies about Revenant and how it's going to fit into everything. And I actually had a epiphany. I actually asked a friend of mine and said, hey, I want to go into a dungeon with Revenant. I want to try this out. We're going to go do a Raw. We're going to fight Loopy with Revenant. And it was totally successful. Revenant actually kind of broke the Loopy fight, mainly because Ventari's stance has, the tablet has a projectile destruction, a projectile absorption ability that lasts forever. If you can manage your energy well enough between attacks, you can never get hit by Loopy at all. And I found that to be really cool. I think I'm most excited about Revenant overall of the other specializations besides maybe Dragon Hunter and Tempest. Well, a little bit less than Tempest. I think Reaper I'm also very excited for. But Revenant, I'm really excited to try that out in dungeon stuff because it has so much versatility in it. And it was really fun to try that out in like a high level dungeon, quote unquote, you know. As far as everything else from the beta weekend, it was fun. I got to see the canopy of the Verdant Brink. It was actually really cool. I do have footage of that, and you'll be able to see, like, I went up there initially, and I saw, oh, this is cool. There's this champion mob here. There was actually an event up top on the canopy area, and it was this boss with, like, 3 veteran smoke scales, so obviously I couldn't defeat it by myself, and actually there was another person that joined me, and we both died miserably, as you might observe. But there's special like champion mobs up there and stuff that you get to fight. I think there was an event chain that goes up there that you have to defeat certain champions for a whole like bigger boss to come out. I also did see a very unique champion mob that I never seen before that used like double swords in this. It's the event chain where you start in the cave with the Quaggan commander and they take you up and you have to fight the Mordrum champion that has like the 2 swords, and you go to the top of the wreckage and you have to take over the area again, and then you fight her again, except this time she has a great sword. So I thought that was really cool. The design was amazing, although that fight I think actually this had to do with the fact that the difficulty level of all the mobs in of this beta weekend actually was lower and was unintentionally lowered through accidental coding, I guess. So everything was kind of a bit easier, as I felt like, man, I'm not dying instantly to smoke scales anymore. What's wrong with this game? What's wrong with the world? Why am I not instantly dying to these mobs? And actually, it's kind of funny when I thought about it. I was like, man, that's a really good feeling to think, man, I wish I was dying to these things. But yeah, there was an incident. Actually, I think it was Colin Johansson. He said on Reddit that was like, yeah, the difficulty level was accidentally lowered, and we really liked it before, and so we're gonna bring it back up. So I'm really happy that they're really happy. I'm happy that they are happy with the difficulty level of the open world, and I'm excited about that. The other thing I was really excited to see was a cool boss, the more champion boss encounters that I found in the open world in the canopy area. You'll probably see footage of it in the background. There was like this cool like 3 bosses you had to fight, and this interesting mechanic. I don't know how it worked, but apparently they copied abilities from each other using like linking. They linked each other somehow, and you had to defeat all 3 of them. Once you defeated all 3 of them, a giant boss would come out, and he would, you start attacking you to defeat him. I think I was on my Dragon Hunter fighting him. That was really cool. I thought that was really cool. Like, you're up in the canopy fighting this giant Mordrum boss with a giant hammer and stuff, and it felt really awesome and stuff. So that's really cool. I can't wait to go check it out in the actual real world. And obviously, gliding around was fun. I actually got to a higher master level than I usually do, because I usually just get so distracted half the time with other things going on in the world, and I never even level up any other mastery besides gliding. But I actually got the mushroom jumping mastery, and I finally was able to use jumping mushrooms to get around, and that was really fun. So jumping over mushrooms and gliding off places and finding secret areas. I actually found a little secret area. I was using my glider to try to find areas around near the bottom of the map. Obviously falling to my death because we can't experience the jungle floor yet. But that was really cool. I had a whole bunch of fun just exploring the area. Even though I'd been in that area, there were new things that I hadn't seen before the last time. So I can't wait to experience that. The one thing I didn't do during this particular weekend was trying any adventures, because I couldn't really find any. I know there was I couldn't find any in the area I was in. Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough. And maybe the adventures were in a different area of the map that was cut off to us. Although I hope that they do intend to add more adventures into the verdict rank, because the only one I experienced was the flamethrower one with the tentacles, and the other with like the bug one down at the bottom area. That's the only 2 that I ever experienced in any beta weekend, and I couldn't find any other ones. So if you found one in this current beta weekend, let me know. I'd like to see, hear about it. See how cool it was, because I really am interested in adventures. I'm totally geeking out about everything in the expansion. Like, I was just totally taken aback by all the stuff going on, and it really brings not hope, but relief that there's actually a lot of stuff coming in these, coming with these maps. These maps aren't just like, oh, we got 4 maps, but these maps are filled with tons of stuff. So I'm really excited about that. The other last thing I wanted to talk about, and I know this video is a bit short, but it was just a quick roundup of everything that happened. I spent so much time, and actually I didn't spend as much time as I wanted to in the beta weekend because of outside things going on, but I streamed a little bit on Saturday, and I actually tried to do some open world stuff. I did some PvP and things, and I had this notion as I was playing PvP the other night with my friend. I was playing Dragon Hunter, and he was playing Scrapper, and this is something that I wanted to talk about, because it's almost worrying but also exciting at the same time. The PvP way it's going now is it is being filled with a lot of just everything, and everything. What I mean by everything, I mean just like people coming in and just using all of their skills, because there's so much stuff going on. There's AoEs flying everywhere, and the way that I kind of saw this was we were playing in a match. It was Niflel, and it's the map that has the creatures in it, the Svanir and the Chieftain, and my friend, he's playing Scrapper, he's playing Soldier Scrapper. He goes up in the midpoint, stands there, and before I even get to the top of the stairs of the midpoint, he gets blown up by just like it literally, and I'm not just exaggerating this, the enemy, there's 2 Chronomancers and a Reaper. They literally used every single utility skill, weapons skill, everything to just destroy him, and it was impossible to get on the point because there's just so much damage going on. And I was like, whoa, that's insane. And then the opposite happened, and then actually I was like, wow, you just died. And I was like, yeah. Then our team came in and just did the same thing. And so I was thinking, like, man, is this really what PvP is turning into? Is it really just like this big, just unloading of everything, every fight? Like beforehand, before these new specializations came in, even before specializations were even a thing, fighting in PvP was very tactical, and you planned out a strategy like, okay, we're gonna take down this person, we'll take down this person. It might come to the point where now with these new specializations, we just get to a point where it's just pardon me, clusterfuck. It's just a big clusterfuck. It's just like you just throw at everything onto the point, hoping that something dies. Which it usually does, because if you're throwing out, there's a lot more CC in the game now with all these new specializations, and it's impossible for anyone to escape it. So its ability doesn't help because it only stacks to a certain amount. So it's almost worrying to me to see that there's not much strategy going on anymore. I mean, I know it's unranked, anything can happen and stuff like that. It's just me and my friend playing together. But I fear for the newer players coming into the game, playing, you know, custom matches or going to hot joins or playing unranked by themselves and experiencing this, and it's really gonna feel sucky. It really did not feel fun to experience just everyone just unloading everything onto a point. Like, literally it happened to me a few times as I was going onto a point by myself. I was even a home point, like the point that I usually to me is usually the safest point to capture, home point. Just like 3 people come in and just unload everything onto the point. I mean, I'm not that bad of a player where I die instantly, but eventually it's just like there's too much coming into the point, too much coming onto me, and just I die. It just happens. And so it's like, man, it's not really any, like, I mean, not that that strategy wins. Let me rephrase. I'm actually going to rephrase what I'm saying, because it might seem like I'm saying, oh, this is OP, this is this, and that, this is the end of whatever. It's like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this is a successful strategy. What I'm saying is this is just an unfun way to experience the game. I'm worried that people will be turned off by this. I'm worried that people will just be, even though I won, I'm just like, man, I didn't enjoy that fight, that match, because it was really just tough. It was a lot harder than it should have been. It was a lot of work for no real, it's like, oh, I won the game, but they're just like mopping it's just not fun. It's kind of like how Burn Guard is to me. Like, burning itself to me is not a fun, and Condi's itself even, with certain exceptions, it's just not a fun way of playing for me, which is why I don't play many Condi classes, again, with like 1 or 2 exceptions, because it's just not fun. It's not fun to fight a Burn Guard, because it's like, oh, they're relying on this one condition that can be constantly applied over and over again, and I play the way I play very combo based classes. I play, you know, for example, like the one Condi class I do play, Ranger, is very combo based. Like, the only way to get off a burst is actually use a very specific combo of skills, and if you don't get it off, then you've wasted your combo, and you have to spend a lot of time revamping and coming back with, you know, trying to survive. Whereas the Burn Guard, he can just, it's just burning, and he has a lot of it from everything that he uses. So it's like, even though I've maybe won the fight, I didn't have fun winning. That's the kind of thing. You don't have fun winning. You don't have fun playing the game. You don't have fun being successful. And that's unfortunate, because success should feel good. Winning should feel good when it happens, and you've succeeded over these players that are using a lesser, to an extent, a lesser successful technique than you. So, again, for all I know, it can affect anything. It couldn't say, nothing could be set back by this, hopefully, and maybe it'll balance out. I mean, again, this is only a beta weekend. We've only experienced these specializations a total of 4 times, I think. Yeah, 4 times. And not even all of them. So all of them together this time was kind of just a big unloading, unleashing the hounds, opening the floodgates kind of deal. And it was just a lot of things coming out. So hopefully, maybe once Hot comes out and it's been a few months, things will level out and people will, that won't happen anymore. And maybe people, again, will start enjoying it. Not that it's going to keep me from playing the game. I enjoy the game way too much to stop playing. But maybe PvP will be a little bit more fun once things have been kind of figured out and, builds have been coming out and things like that. So hopefully that happens. the absolute last thing I want to talk about is raids. Now, unfortunately, and it's gonna be a really short, conversation. Unfortunately, I did not get to experience raids. I know that my guild, we had planned to do a raid together on Friday, and that's when the new squad UI was being broken. If you don't know what the new squad UI is, and you're completely in the dark, the way that squads or parties work in general right now is you can only have 5 players in your party. With squads, you can have a pseudo party member system where and mainly has to do with a commander tag. If you've seen a commander tag, it's a little blue arrow pointing down at the person, or red or purple or yellow. And you can only, when you join a squad, there's a special squad chat, and if there's multiple commanders around, the commander whose squad you join, you can only see their tag and such. But the way that the new squad UI works is that you can actually, it's a party system. It's basically a new party system. And if a commander's in it, there's special functionalities with the commander. But any group of people can join a squad, and this is the main way to get into raids, because you need 10 people to go in, to actually be successful at the raids. You can go with less, but you won't be as successful as people with 10. But because on Friday, the squad UI wasn't working properly, ANET frantically tried to get it working, and back and forth, and it wasn't working. People were getting logged out, people were getting kicked out, yada yada. They turned it off for that evening, and it actually wasn't working even on Saturday. And Sunday evening, and I have to go to bed early on Sunday evenings because I have class in the morning. I wasn't aware that they'd actually fixed it and actually extended the time of the beta until 12, I think 3 o'clock Eastern time, and I have class at 3 o'clock, so, and I have class all day, so it's no, I missed out on raids, and I know that a few of my guildmates, 3 of them, in fact, went into the raid and saw it, so I'll actually link to my guild leader's video. He actually put up a video about it. I'll link it down there if you want to spoil yourself. Part of me is kind of happy I didn't get to experience the raid, because I've heard really good things about it. There's been some talk about Twitter, some people have only gone down 27%, and or whatever. I know that there was a few guilds that got quote unquote world first, although I wouldn't really call it world first since it's really just beta right now. Although it's a really admirable achievement to get it down first, so I think that's, congratulations to the guild. I can't remember your name, but congratulations. And I'm actually kind of glad, because now I get to experience it with everyone when the game comes out in, I can't even, it's 20, it's not even 20, it's 17 days, 16 days, I think, yeah, 18 days left till the release. Well, when you view this video, it'll probably be 22 days or whatever you view this video, whatever that day is minus 23. That's how many days left. So the 23rd of October, HOT comes launch. We'll be excited for that, be able to experience raids and all that stuff, and I can't wait. I'm super excited. Actually, as an extra thing, I almost totally forgot. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Q&A videos I wanted to make. Again, if you have any questions, absolutely any question you want to ask me, Guild Wars 2 related, me related, if you want a question about me or anything like that, what games you play, stuff like that, please do put them in the comments below, or ask me on Twitter or in-game, or send me a mail if you're asking me in-game. If you're asking me a question in-game, send me a mail. If you want to put, make sure they're constructive and appropriate for, videos, stuff like that. Nice questions, good questions that I can answer, and I'll do my best to answer them on Sunday this week, because someone gave me the idea of a Q&A Sunday, And that's the end of this video, because it's got way too long and went over the time that I wanted to. So, if you guys have any questions or comments or feedback on anything that I said, if you have any things like, Raz, what are you talking about? You're stupid. Whatever. Don't say that, but, be constructive about it. If you have any comments, again, please do put them in the description below, or not description below, in the comments below. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me in game and my mail. Or whisper me. I'll put my in-game name down in the description. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys, if you did experience the beta weekend, hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!